All right, I need Rift Zone Junior today. All right, he's ready to go. Hey guys, welcome back to Biking Roots, to the channel, to Texas, and to the shop. Today we're talking about the Marin Rift Zone Junior, or 26. So no, this isn't the new one. We'll talk about the new one in a sec after we get it built up. So this is the last generation Marin Rift Zone Junior. This one's been around for quite a while, I'd say, probably going on 3 or 4 years. I could be wrong on that. So Marin makes a more basic front suspension, the Bayview Trail, which is hardtail only, coil suspension. These are around the $550 range. For the kids that need it and want it, this is their basically mini adult full suspension bike, the Rift Zone. So this one is available in a 24-inch and a 26-inch size. My oldest son's been riding this for, oh man, it's been probably about 3 years now. We've had some awesome journeys with this bike. We've taken it over to out west a few years ago. We went to Arizona, to Utah. We've taken up to Bentonville, all around Texas. He has had an amazing time on this bike. Most of the time he's been on 24-inch wheels. This year, a while back, I don't remember exactly when, we went to the 26-inch wheels, since this bike allows you to do 24-inch wheels and then go up to the 26, which is a cool option once your kids get a little bit bigger. All right, so we need to get the new Rift Zone Junior box. Should we have Tim move it since he's in top condition?
I am not in top condition.
What's wrong with you?
I have to go to the doctor.
Why do you have to go to the doctor?
Because I jacked my foot up running.
That's why you just stick to biking, not running. All right, Tim's broken.
It's not funny.
It is kind of funny.
It's not funny.
Let's get this thing. Rift Zone 26. All right, it is finally done. We didn't do a time lapse this time like we did on the last video with the Rift Zone, but here it is, the new Rift Zone Junior, or Rift Zone 26. Jared just finished building it up and he did a nice job. So here it is in all of its glory. So we'll go into some of the specs and some of the changes for this new Rift Zone Junior. And there's quite a bit of improvements and design changes that we'll talk about. For one is this head tube angle. It went 2 degrees slacker, so it's now 65.5 degree angle right here instead of 67.5 on the old one. The old one also didn't have internal cable routing, so that gives it a cleaner look and a little more polished. All right, so you have the new head tube angle, and a big change here is in the seat tube angle. This received a huge change. So this is a lot steeper than it was before. It is like 7 degrees steeper now, so that should help with climbing. Also should help with dropper posts getting lower, although it's pretty short frame, so you're not going to be able to get a really long dropper in there. Not that you need it for your kid. The dropper hole exit is right here, so you're going to run the dropper on the other side of the shock and then wrap it around here. So shouldn't be too bad. We'll see once we install one on here. But so you get a little bit lower standover height, which should help for your kid when he's standing over the bike or getting off of it, which is nice to have. The chain stays a little bit shorter, so the wheelbase is a little bit longer for 2023. Should give it a little bit more of a stable feel on the trail versus the old one. Are you going to recognize it? Maybe some people will, but probably mostly not. The top tube is a little bit narrower, kind of like what we've seen on the full-size Rift Zone and also on the San Quentin with that new frame design that they've gone to. As I discussed earlier, this is the 26-inch version. It's going to come in a 24 or a 26-inch version, and you can swap wheels in between the two. All right, let's go over the suspension and also some of the components. Up front, for 23, you get 10 millimeters more of travel, up from 120, so now you're at 130 millimeters of travel. You have your compression adjustment on this X-Fusion velvet fork, and you have your rebound control up under here. This is 100 millimeters, so it's not boost, just so you know if you have a wheel set or something, it's 100 millimeters. And in the back, you get the X-Fusion 02 Pro, 130 millimeters of travel, so you get another 10 millimeters of travel in the back. This just has rebound control. There's no lockout or any compression adjustments here. All right, and with the crank, so this was one that we are a little disappointed on. I'm not sure why they went to it. Could be a supply issue. I don't know, but these are 170 millimeter cranks, which that's what they have on the adult bikes. The last version had 152 millimeters. So yeah, we would have liked to see shorter cranks on a kid bike like this, not 170 millimeter cranks. Anyway, narrow wide up front. This is non-removable, but you do have an external cut bottom bracket, so that's nice. So a little bit lighter than like going to a square tapered, which sometimes you see with this crank set. In the back, you have a Sunrace 1151 tooth cassette. So lots of range. On the last version, when you go to the 24, you have a smaller cassette. You have a 46 tooth cassette, just because then you have a long cage on the 24-inch wheel. But on the 26, they do a bigger 51 tooth cassette. And then you have your Shimano derailleur 11-speed with the clutch and your KMC 11-speed chain. Another change and improvement, just like the full-size version, you have a UDH derailleur hanger back here, which is nice and easy to replace. When your kids inevitably crash and bang their derailleur, like you'll see on my son's bike in a second, you do want to be able to replace these derailleur hangers easily, and the UDH hanger pretty easily available. So that's a good upgrade. This isn't boost, just so you know. They come with a 135 millimeter quick release. You can upgrade these to a through axle. It's going to be 142 millimeters long. It doesn't come standard with the through axle. All right, we'll talk about the cockpit and then talk about brakes. You have 720 millimeter bars, and then your Shimano MT201 2-piston brakes. All right, you got your calipers back here, 160 millimeter rotor. These are resin only. Up front, you have the 180 millimeter resin only. All right, I have my son's old version, and no, Garrett, you're not getting the new one, so sorry, buddy. Your bike is still sweet. Anyway, so this is the old one. You can kind of see the differences between the two. Kind of hard to see, but pretty sweet upgrade over the new one. I like the color of the new one. I think it's a pretty cool color combo that they went with. I think a lot of people will like it. That seat angle that we talked about, that was kind of the biggest change. So as you can see in this one, it's pretty slack seat tube. So now going to the steeper tube there should help with climbing and also your standover height. Yeah, you can see here they changed the linkage up a little bit in the design so that they could accommodate that lower top tube here. The old one had the external cable routing, at least for the brake line. The other cables were internal, but the brake line was external, which is nice if you're switching out brakes, but not as clean of a look. So now it's nice and tucked away. All right, so that's the new Rift Zone Junior, or Rift Zone 26. All right, so what do you guys think of the new Rift Zone Junior? Let me know in the comments. I think it's pretty sweet. Price-wise, they're actually a little bit less expensive now, as freight and shipping has calmed down a little bit. These are going to be $17.99, so the same price as the adult bike. So you get a lot of value for that money if you compare it to other bikes in this category. Yeah, obviously it's an expensive kid bike, so unless you have just a ton of money and you want to buy the best for your kid, usually parents that buy these, their kids kind of been riding for a little bit and they've progressed, and so now they want something nicer, full suspension, air suspension, hydraulic brakes. Yeah, so I like the Rift Zone Junior personally because you can swap the wheel sizes as your kid grows. So when he or she has a growth spurt, 8 to 12 or 13 years old, you can upgrade the wheels. Obviously the wheels aren't super cheap, but it's better than buying another bike, which is nice. So I like that option. So how does this compare to the Norco? Because now we have Norco. So yeah, the Norco Fluid 24 is a good competitor to this Rift Zone. A couple differences, the Norco, only 24 inch, so you can't go up to 26, but it does come with a through axle in the back. It also has UDH. You can go to a pretty low dropper on that, which I like. Pretty low standover on the Norco. It's got 140 millimeters of travel, so a little bit beefier up front. I don't know, they're both really cool options. I think you're good either way. This one's a little bit higher price point, but it does have the dropper post standard, so keep that in mind. There you have some cool options. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up this quick look. So I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, hit that like button for us. It helps out the channel. Let me know if you're interested in buying one of these. If you're local to Houston, want to come check them out. We do have a couple of them, so if you're interested and want to get your kid on a sweet ride before Christmas, come and see us. Well, hope you're doing well. We'll see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye. Go! Oh, he wants it. He wants it, folks. Don't break my door. That's my van. You can't let it touch the ground. 2-second penalty if it touches the ground. Go, go, go. I can't run. Oh, watch the fat bike. Oh, you put it back. All right, here he goes. And he's on a sprint. Go, go, go. And time. 23 seconds.